Okay. So the two of you head down into the market square. It's still fairly early in the morning, around 8 or 9-ish. Well, more getting towards late morning. But you're not having too much trouble. The crowds haven't quite gotten here yet. And it's just it's a rather pleasant day. You don't have the wind is cool to you, and it hasn't quite gotten to its blistering heat yet. Where you see several vendors, although there's more attraction going on to the Netheram tents as that caravan is new and has all the exciting items. But you see plenty of locals selling their wares. You see, fruit vendors, several lemon vendors. You see one or two people like selling furniture right up front of their store. As you pass by, you do see what looks to be probably like a general store.
Yep, so I guess we wander in there.
What do you want a pot for?
Cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll wander in and look for the shopkeeper and ask him for a pot.
All right, you head into the general store, and you see a number of items. Some are cooking, others are things like rations and cleaning utensils and bits of clothing here and there. Not too much of anything, but just enough that you could probably find what you need here. As you walk in, you see sitting behind a counter, apparently she seems to be weaving some sort of basket like material, an older Azamar woman, and she's just sitting behind the counter putting this basket together, and she sees the two of you enter the shop and says, welcome customers. What can I do for you? What can old Valeri do for you?
Yes, I'd like to buy an iron pot.
But of course, right over there, dear. She points to just a shelf of cooking items, and you see a couple of pots on one of the row of shelves.
Yeah, I go and find a nice sturdy iron pot and bring it over.
Good choice. Is there anything else I can do for you?
That will be it, unless you have anything you'd like to get hold of.
I don't think so.
Right then. That'll be 3 silver, young man.
Gorm hands it over.
Very well. Enjoy. Come back again if you need anything else.
And I guess we're off to wherever that place is on your map.
Okay, then I'll just lead the way there.
Okay. Walking in the market district, it doesn't take you long. You probably walk for a good 10-15 minutes before you reach past the edge of the Hero's Fountain. You go past the main gate that you came in through, and you go towards the very end of the wall. You pass by a couple bigger buildings and a few smaller buildings before you come across one lone building, sort of sandwiched next to the cliffside, more like the sort of hillside the town is built into, and out of the wall that goes into that hillside.
So you said there's a building where this strange discoloration on my map is?
Yes, and it's particularly dead set on this building.
Is this a picture of the building?
Yes. So, this is the building you are approaching. As I said, you walk until you're at the very end of the wall, and close to that hill leading up to the upper district. You get like 300 feet away from the building, and you notice this older, rickety-looking wooden building. And it's alone. It's alone next to the hill and the wall. You see the front of it. It has a fading fence that only has a couple posts and a few bars remaining, just sort of in this sort of a scattered pattern. It looks a little like it used to be a stable area for animals of some kind. And as you approach further, you notice, roll perception for me.
Let me see stats. Oh wait, I don't. That rolled. No, I didn't. Oh well.
Okay. As you, the both of you notice this, as you're approaching, the first thing that catches your eye is a small girl in a pink dress, and she's standing in front of the house. She seems to be looking into the building. She has long blonde hair, which is tied in braids on either side of her head. And you see her just kind of standing at the building, and Gorm, Olav, with your good ears, you can hear her sort of half muttering and half shouting, and she's saying, Edward, come on! We're going to be in so much trouble if you don't come back soon.
Okay, I turn to Gorm and I ask, have you seen any other buildings in this town made of wood?
What are the buildings in this town generally made of?
Out of character, I thought they were all made out of sandstone.
Yeah, all of the buildings you've seen so far have been made out of sandstone.
There's not a lot of lumber in the desert.
Yeah, I had to ask though. You never know. No.
Where do you think they got all this lumber from?
I don't know. Whoever built it obviously had deep pockets.
Shall we go talk to that girl?
I don't see why not. If you'd like to.
I shrug and head towards her.
Lauren follows close behind.
Okay, as you approach, you can you see very clearly. She's very young. She can't be more than 7 or 8 years old, and small. And she doesn't seem to notice your approach as you come up behind her. But she continues. You can hear her muttering under her breath, "Edward, come on!" And you see she's kind of kicking the sand below her, and she seems to be sort of looking nervously about the building.
Okay, I say to her, "Child, what are you doing there?"
You see she whips around and she stares at you wide-eyed, and she backs up a little bit, and her face turns red and says, my mom said I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
My name's Olav. This is my brother Gorm. What's your name?
She looks a little bashful and squeaks out, Ellen?
Good morning, Ellen. Now that we're no longer strangers, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm waiting for my brother, Edward.
Where is Edward?
Well, he's... I don't think I'm supposed to tell you.
Okay. What is this building?
She looks back at the building. It's a scary place that we're not supposed to go to.
Does anyone live in this building?
She shakes her head and then pauses as like she's sort of thinking better of it, and she says, Well, no, but Edward says that there's ghosts in it.
I glance at Gorm, and then I say to her, "Is Edward inside the building now?"
She immediately looks down at the ground and then sort of sheepishly looks back at you, kicks the sand. I'm not supposed to tell you. I don't want to get him into trouble.
I look at Gorm and I say, "What do you think? Should we go inside?"
Well, is this the place that was on your map?
Out of character. I'm sorry, Bazak. Are you asking?
Yes.
Okay, then I say, "This is the place. I'm sure of it."
Well, we can kill two birds with one stone, as it were. Find out what's so special about this place, and maybe bring a foolish kid back out of a decrepit building.
Alright. I turn back to the little girl and say, "Ellen, wait here." And then I march towards the door.
And I follow suit.
as you go towards the door, you watch Ellen. You see, kind of, she stands there and watches you go in for a minute, and then as you get close, she runs up quickly and says, "Thank you," and then she runs back to where she was.
Okay, when I get to the door, I look at Gorm and I say, "I guess we better knock." And I knock on the door. So I'm just answered by silence.
No, sorry. I think I've accidentally deleted my notes on this, so we're going to do this on the fly.
Okay. Should we come back later?
I mean, no, it's in my head. I just messed up, but it's okay. I've got. We'll do this on the fly.
Do you want to let the others role play while you scribble some stuff or whatever? Because they're talking about stuff in the chat and text.
Yeah, let's do that while I try and figure out what happened to my notes.
Okay, we'll just hang.
Yeah, as you knock, you just get a scene change to whatever conversation is going on in the tavern.
Yes, okay. Sorry. It was going to be all creepy and everything, and then no. So, whatever conversations you're having in the chat, go ahead and have it in voice chat.
Unless it's going to be more stupid cat nonsense.
Well, don't worry. I can guarantee it won't be stupid cat nonsense.
There is no other kind of cat nonsense.
It'll be cat seriousness.
Cat awesomeness. Does anyone else want to come to the clothing shop with us?
Well, shops. I think there was a repair place, and then there was also the place that actually sold new clothes. So we're gonna need both.
I suppose we could come along. Would like to swing by Tila's eventually, anyways. Vinda, you still have that flower from yesterday, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I brought it with me when I zapped into the necklace. So it's in there.
Ah, very good. That's all right. That will work just perfectly, so long as it's with us.
Yeah, and I've still got that weird stone thing I took out of that skeleton monster.
And speaking of Tayla, I don't suppose you know if there are any potions that allow one to speak with animals, Winter.
I'm not sure, but we can always ask her.
So, are you guys headed? Where are we headed first?
Probably to take care of their clothing needs, and then probably Tila's. But I'll pay for Vinda and my and Aries' meal. Give Novie 6 silver.
Cool.
Yeah, how much was my breakfast?
25 copper. 6 silver.
Yeah, what?
25 copper is the equivalent of 2.5 silver. 2.5 silver times 2 is 5 silver.
No, you're right. Never mind. I thought you said 6 gold for a second. I realized I said 6 silver, but in my head it was gold. I was like, whoa, she's...
No, I don't have 6 gold yet.
I was like, what? When did you get that? When did I give you that much gold?
Everybody quick bugging my GM. She's busy with my stuff.
Okay,
Wait, so 1 silver is 10 copper?
Yep.
That's the way it is according to the book. That's how I came up with 6 silver.
Also, yeah, Harry, maybe you should keep track of the money entirely. Here, Vinda. Because,
That's alright, Vinda. I'll take care of you as much as I can.
I mean, out of character.
Oh, you want me to take care of Vinda's copper or money as well?
Since you're pretty certain to be the one carrying it.
Okay,
I'm not sure how else to work this. I don't know.
how much silver did you have beforehand? Before the adventure started, all that. Because we got 8 for the during the campaign.
I had 1 silver and 5 copper. I kind of estimated on a couple of items, so that was my estimated leftover.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Sounds like you got 9 silver, 5 copper. That's fine. I can still take care of. I have plenty of silver, don't worry.
Okay, which clothing store are you guys headed to?
Admiring disguise.
Okay. So it is the rest of you, correct? Minus the brothers.
Yes.
Okay. So the rest of you, say goodbye, say your goodbyes to Novie, pay up your tabs, and head out. You walk into the market square, and you see once again the bustling town of Zagahta at work, selling their wares, enjoying strolls through the town. It's for some of you, it's very different. This town is always. There's always just this positive energy in town. No one's life seems to be too harsh. You really haven't seen like a ton of beggars or anything. Everything's just well kept and clean. Everyone seems to be sort of happy and nice. And so it's always a sort of joyful experience going through town. It doesn't take you very long asking for directions and looking through signs to find the admiring disguise, which as soon as you come up to it, you see a building with it has a couple of fancy coats hanging at the front and hanging out in rows in the front, and you see a sign that says discounted last season's wear. You see an open door with what looks to be like a velvet purple colored curtain where the door would be, and above it in golden and very ornate font, you see the admiring disguise.
It looks like we are here.
As you all stand out there, you see Curiosity and Harmony. You see coming out is a young glowing woman. She's carrying like a bundle of clothing in her arms, and she's hanging them up on this rack as you are watching her do it. She herself is adorned in light, appropriate attire for the weather, but very fine and nice, even for someone of like middle class. It's a very, very well kept attire.
Do we see any like tribe distinguishing colors?
No, oddly enough. She's wearing a yellow dress.
Okay, Curiosity will go up to her and say, "Good morning."
She says good morning without turning to look at you, and we have specials on all the clothes that are hanging up here in the rack. These ones too in my arms once I finish putting them up. And if you need any help, my name is Grace.
Curiosity pauses for a second, and then he just says, "Do you do any clothing repairs?"
Still hanging up the coat and still haven't looked at you yet. She says, yes, Nada does them. She's inside.
Winter glances between them and says, "Wow, I've never seen so many glowlings in one place."
At that, she stops and she turns and looks at you all. And, oh my! You're glowlings.
Curiosity looks thankfully at Winter.
I look at my hand, both sides. Oh, would you look at that?
My apologies. I didn't know that there were any others in town.
Neither did we. I elbow Harmony.
Well, yes, Nita, she's a very good seamstress. She would be happy to help you with, your attire. Please, come with me. She sort of looks at, like, the 2 or 3 dresses she has left to hang and just sort of, like, stacks them on the rack, and then with a flourish of her both her hand and her wing, she leads you into the interior of the admiring disguise.
Yeah, curiosity goes to follow her.
Well, Vinda, would you like to do some shopping while we're here? Might as well have something to pass the time.
Hey, what sort of stuff do they have around this place? There's gotta be all sorts of interesting things.
Oh, let's go take a look.
As you enter in past the curtain, you walk into a building that's, despite the smallish, narrow doorway sandwiched between 2 other buildings, you open to a much larger room with wooden floors and row upon row of clothing racks with various things on them. Some of them are capes, others are dresses and fine wear. And you see this towards the center is a counter that almost connects to either side of 2 winding staircases on either side that go up in a sort of U-shaped curve up to an upstairs level. You see behind the counters are 2 beautiful stained glass windows with some sort of design to them, but you're looking in from where you are, it's difficult to make out what the design is. You see a few customers in there looking through clothing, just sort of minding their own business. Behind the counter, you see a short woman, a bit stout. For those of you that are familiar, you guess is probably a dwarf, and she seems to be she's helping an Azumar with some sort of like satin material, and they're having a conversation. And Grace, as she leads you in, she says, "Welcome to the admiring disguise. As I said, Nita can help you with any tailoring you require. We also have outfits for almost any size and shape. We have capes down in this rack, made from the best materials that you can acquire. Some of them are made from the very materials the NetherRealm Caravan has come by just this week to sell. We have dresses both for the working woman and for one of nobler grace." And she gives a sort of a wink as she uses her name in a pun sort of way. And if you go upstairs, we have rows and rows of fine material in case you are inclined to create your own wardrobe, or if you would like Nita to create one for yourself.
Thank you for your assistance, Grace.
You are very welcome. May I ask your names?
I am Curiosity, and this is Harmony.
Curiosity and Harmony. Welcome. I must say, it's such a pleasure to hear one's own culture for a short period of time. Please, if you have any questions or I need anything else, please come and fetch me.
Well, actually, Curiosity here gets his hair is taken care of. Do you have head coverings? I don't know, something that kind of matches what we're wearing. Just kind of, cover the glow.
Ah, you're like a hood of some kind.
Yeah, something that covers the face so that it just isn't obvious, that we have this glowing skin at night.
Yes, I understand. I myself have a cape that I wear when going to home every night. Right this way. She leads the two of you towards the sort of the back of the lower level, and you see in the very back up against a wall is row upon row of odd hats, some of which are quite stylish, others are just flamboyant beyond reason. But you see rows and rows and rows of these, and in the middle rows you see what look to be like some sort of delicate folded up cloths. She approaches one and picks out a sort of a black light, it almost looks like velvet a little bit, material. And as she picks it up, she unfolds it and shows it to you, and you can see that it's just a hood. It's like the hood of a cape, but without the rest of the cape. But it's trimmed at the bottom, and it has a cool sort of purple design above the head piece. And she says, "This one I think would fit well for you, dear Harmony, to give you that sort of unencumber you and allow you to still maintain your freedom of movement in your armor."
Well, yes, that does seem to match quite well.
She looks at Curiosity. "Now for you, do you prefer a cape or a hood? Perhaps a hat?"
Well, I already have a cloak, so I guess just a hood.
Let me see. She walks over and she picks up a sort of pastel green hood. And this one has sort of a white wavy lines going through the hood, and it gives the hood sort of this watery-like appearance on it. And she says, "This one I think would fit you just well."
Ah, yes, a good pick. I like the design on this.
Yes, I think it would match you well as given your current style. So, will that be all? Is there anything else I can get you? Perhaps, oh, that's right. You, and looking over you, Curiosity, I can tell that you require a little bit of a fix in your robe department. Or perhaps a brand new robe altogether.
Yes, I was hoping to have this rip sewed back up.
All right. Well, I would speak to Nita. She's very good in that regard. She can make it look as though it never happened.
If you don't mind me asking, which tribe are you from?
Oh, I was originally born a Night Avro. But, I moved here, a couple of years ago. There's not as, much, how shall I say, interest in, the clothing world, there as there was here, especially at the Azamar territory. There they're always up on the latest trends and fashions. Where are you two from?
Oh, from Ebony Water Tribe. We've been on the surface for a while now. Just looking for things. Get kind of bored of looking at caves all the time.
I can understand that. She leans in a little bit, almost conspiratory, and says, "But have you gotten used to the sky yet?"
I mean, it still feels a little strange, but try not to pay attention to it. Although the stars do kind of remind me of the stones in the cavern sometimes.
This is true. They remind me. I used to look and dare my friends into picking up ones and putting it. We would stick them into our treasure chests and make wishes on them. I know, stupid, but I almost wish we could go and do that here. But, well, the shiny stones here are a little further away than they were at home. But the blue sky, well, I've lived here for almost 50 years, and it's still sort of a little unnerving. There's no ceiling.
I never really quite believed the books that would talk about it until I saw it with my own eyes.
I think it's weird is that the water is a different color here. At least in big pools.
Yes, and there's so much of it. I assume you had to cross the ocean to get here.
Yeah, I wish we could have just flown.
It's much too far. Even the birds have trouble getting across. But indeed, I did not know so much water could exist in one place and have it be so vast. And I hear, at least the books say, that it's just as deep down as it is up. I suppose our race is one of the only that know of, well, that enjoy places that are small and enclosed. While they're having this conversation, Winter, Vinda, Ari, what are you guys up to?
I immediately went over and started looking at some of the capes and cloaks that are satin.
I am assuming Vinda wants to look at everything. So Ari is just kind of letting the lady shop and whatnot, and is just sitting in the corner.
Yeah, basically just looking around at everything, all the different styles, and what all you giant people wear.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Vinda. As you're zipping through and looking at the clothing and probably admiring the things that Winter shows you, there's a point where you come past the doorway that you came in, and as your second look through, you notice like a small wooden house, about the size of a dollhouse for big folk. And you see on the sign, there's a small sign that says, "The Admiring Disguise, fairy-sized."
Okay then.
As you get close to the dollhouse, you see a door, very similar to the one outside, with windows. it looks like there's a little bit more to it. The building itself looks a little different from the real one. But the door seems like it, but there's just a cloth curtain that guards where there should be a door. Very similar.
Excuse me while I roll on the floor laughing here. Out of character. Okay, I will go in.
You go in and, well, the big folk have a pretty nice area with several things to choose from. This is like nothing you've ever seen. This is like a warehouse to you of just fairy clothes. You're not even exactly sure how big folk make this. Maybe it's that they have a fairy on staff. Who knows? But the tiniest fairy-sized clothes are in racks, in rows and rows. But unlike the big folk, there is one section that's like the one section in the corner, all dressing rooms with a lounge area. There are no stairs in it, but there are several levels, and there's just like cut out. The floor is just cut open, and there's a giant hole in the center that leads up to the next floor where you can just fly up to it to your heart's content and explore all of the different options. And they have like everything here, from cloaks to dresses to shoes even. There's one section that has like small, teeny jewelry that would fit someone of your size. So as you all begin admiring and finding your clothes and the things you wish to purchase and the like, eventually curiosity finds you all, and those of you who wish to purchase things.
Yeah, I think someone near enough outside this might hear a teeny tiny little squeak.
Eventually, you guys find your way to Nita, the dwarf at the counter, who is handling purchases.
Did you find something, Vinda?
I've got to figure out what she wants. And could afford.
ADHD fairy, probably 3 of everything, maybe 4 of the shoes.
So, Gloamlings, you come up to the counter with your hoods in hand. Anita, the small dwarf, in, again, very fine attire, and you get the sense that everyone who works here is well dressed, above your average, just like shopkeeper. And her hands folded, she fixes you with a polite smile. Aye, lads, what can I do for you? Oh, I see you found some fine purchases there. Let me just take those and I can fold them up for you. Will that be all?
No, I would also like to get my robe repaired if possible. And I sort of gesture at the rip.
Say no more, say no more. I noticed it when you came in, but I wasn't certain whether that was, some sign of, youth adventure as some sort of battle scar. But, yes, I can fix that right away. Remove your shirt and put it here, and I'll have it fixed in no time.
Okay, yeah, I take that part of the robe off, and I just have like a gray undershirt on, and put that on the counter.
Wouldn't the undershirt also be slashed?
Yeah, it cut. You were bleeding out. Like that's all covered in blood, and it's all scraped up down to the skin.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought just the robe part got ripped because it was like loose and hanging in the view of its claws.
But,
I mean,
but
unless
you
you have like
damage,
a deep
bleeding.
shirt.
Well, I thought it like cut me on the neck and then ripped the garment as ancillary to that. But okay, I was misinterpreting that.
It's like right below the neck, like where the neck and the head and the body meet. Like that's where you were cut.
Oh, okay. Can we say that I like cleaned the blood off of it last night before going to bed? So I'm not just like going to the clothing store with my bloody ripped clothes and asking them to be repaired.
Given the things that happened, I don't think you thought about it. So I think you are handing in some bloody clothes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just say that Curiosity doesn't realize that. So he just like, okay, here you go. And just hands her the bloody clothes.
There's an eyebrow raise from the dwarf. She takes it. She takes it with her arm and kind of folds it up, and she looks at it. Are you sure you want it repaired? Would it not be better just to purchase a new shirt?
Would it be cheaper to buy a new one?
Well, I mean, unless you're fond of blood stains. I mean, I could perhaps sew in a patch and make it cover up the blood.
Well, I think that would be cheaper than buying an entirely new garment.
Well, the fix here will cost you about, I'd say probably 5 silver. Brand new shirt over there, now that would only cost you 10.
Well, let's just go with the patch for now. I may need additional repairs in the future, so it doesn't really make sense to buy a whole new shirt.
Very well. Each of these hood will cost you 13 silver, and I'll have this patched for you right away.
How much silver for the hoods?
13.
How is a hood more expensive than a shirt? That's ridiculous.
These are finely made materials, and like, you asked a shopkeeper to pick out something for you. It's probably not gonna pick out the cheap things.
Okay, when she goes to repair my shirt, I'll say to Harmony, maybe we should look for hoods at the used clothing store.
Isn't that what this is?
No,
No.
you guys went to the fancy one.
Oh. Well.
Hence why there's a fairy dollhouse in the corner.
Just a minor side question. As far as the size of this settlement, would it be like considered like a decent sized city?
No, more like a large town.
What's the circumference of the wall?
The town measures about 20 acres, give or take. So, someone better at math can sort of extrapolate from that.
That's 1,320 times 60 feet in a rectangle.
Numbers, radar. Wow. Too fast. What?
It's really small.
Yeah.
Just for reference, 1 square mile is 640 acres.
I mean, it's not huge in size. It's more like density-wise. It's more in tune with a large town. Because there are people that live outside of the wall, farmers and such.
Okay.
So, after about 10-15 minutes, Nita returns with your robe, where there once was this slash across from shoulder to shoulder on your robe. There is now an intricate sort of ribbon patching that doesn't just go across where the cut was, but it goes all the way around the shirt. And it gives it sort of this a bit of an ornate look to it. It completely covers all of the bloodstains, and she's done it in such a way that it looks like it's always been a part of the shirt. It's pretty good quality.
Yeah, Curiosity looks happy when he sees it. Ah, that looks marvelously done.
Well, never let it be said that Neda does cheap work. Always the finest for my customers, aye.
Okay, I'll give her 5 silver and take the shirt back.
Aye, thank you, lad. And shall I wrap up the hoods for you as well?
You know, on second thought, I don't think that green color really suits me.
Or are you certain? It seems to match your robes just well.
Yeah, no, the thing is, we're not exactly holding on to a lot of funds right now.
Ah, I see. Well, have you tried our discounts that are outside the shop? There might be 1 or 2 things that would be of interest to you.
Yeah, we might do that. Thanks again.
Ah, but of course.
Well, hopefully I don't encounter any more monsters, but if I do, we'll probably be back.
Ah, well, Nita's always at your service whenever you need more clothes patched. Or if you want to upgrade your styles. She, at this point, she looks like your entire group as they're going through town and whatnot. And just sort of gives it kind of a hint, nudge sort of smile.
Yeah, when I notice that, I just glare at her and walk away. It's like, maybe we'll go check out a different store. He is now angry, and he is walking out.
Wait, did you say that in character?
Oh, yeah, he said that in character, and is walking out now.
She frowns a little bit, but looks at Curiosity and shrugs.
Sorry about that.
And he's like, don't apologize. She shouldn't assume things about people's wardrobes.
Not at all. I wasn't meant to make assumptions. It's just, well, I mean, they are a bit worn.
Okay, I awkwardly try to hop after Harmony while I'm trying to put on my shirt and put my wings through the little holes that are in it, and walking around trying to follow him while doing that. Also, I guess Sophos had to jump off of my shoulders at some point, so I look around the door while trying to put my shirt on and look for my cat.
As you're leaving, you find him poking at the dollhouse, sort of like trying to figure out how it works, and trying to reach in at the glowing light that appears every time Venda comes near a window or the door.
What are you doing? Get away!
Occasionally, you just see a giant paw come in through the door or scratch at one of the windows.
How many times does she get smacked by it?
Roll dexterity.
I believe the answer is none.
Yeah, she notices the cat pretty early on, and it almost becomes sort of a game as she'll get closer and let the light go a little closer, and the cat will try and come after it, but she's way in the back. Unless anyone else wants to purchase something at this store, we're going to take our 10-minute break.
Apparently Vinda has been distracted from that by the cat.
Yeah, Curiosity laughs when he sees the cat doing that.
Probably for the best because of those prices.
Alright, anyone going to purchase anything?
Ari would like a new shirt, a silk shirt, more like something that would be really good while on stage playing his lute and such.
Okay. I would say that because you're a little bit more in the know on these things, you sort of eventually wander your way back outside the shop and look through the discounted area. Very quickly are able to find a couple of shirts to your liking. And you notice there's nothing wrong with these shirts. That you can quickly tell the reason they're discounted is they just simply are out of season. They're just not fashionable currently. But as far as quality and look and style, these are pretty well made materials.
Okay. Any price sticker on them or something?
A couple you find range between 3 and 5 silver.
Okay, I'd probably get 2.
Okay.
Yeah. In the fairy section, is there any indication of how much these things cost?
Depending on what it is, it ranges in about the same price. Cheaper things are 3 to 5 silver. You wander over to some of the dresses, and those can go from 10 silver to 30.
Yikes.
But there is a small discounted section towards the front of the store that has some discounted fairy clothing.
Yeah, where the cat is.
Where the cat is, yes. At least its paw is.
You nice kitty.
Winter goes out to the discounted section to see if there's any capes.
You find that the things that Grace was hanging up were actually capes, and there are a few of them there.
What price are they?
They're about 5 to 7 silver. Lightweight, definitely built for traveling in the desert.
She looks to see if there are any light gold ones or a lavender color one.
You find a pale lavender color, a little bit lighter than your own skin.
How expensive?
It's 6 silver.
She picks it up and takes it into the store to buy.
Ah, yes, dear one. One of the best ones. This one was bought quite a bit, but this is the last one I had in this size. Looks really surprised no one picked it up, but that is for your fortune. Here you are, my dear. And she wraps it up, and anyone who purchases clothes, you see that she sort of wraps it up in this sort of like paper with string and puts it into a nice pretty package for you before handing it over.
Winter thanks her and hands her 6 silver.
Thank you, lass. Enjoy. Alright, and with those last purchases, we're going to take our break.
Okay.